Giudice, who serves as a member of the Real Housewives of New Jersey, has expressed her regret and expressed her willingness to apologize for the timing of her request to President Donald Trump to free her father. She is holding out hope that President Trump would grant Giudice a pardon, and that he will be granted permission to return to the United States. In spite of the fact that his marriage has ended, he is still eager to be in this place with his girls. The huge apology made by Giudice, together with the other stars of Bravo's Next Gen NYC, Gia gave an interview to People magazine. During this time, she explained that she had no intention of asking this question on the 4th of July and that she is aware that the timing was not ideal. Gia expressed her regret for tweeting that on the 4th of July, saying, "I am sorry. I received a lot of criticism for that. That was how I felt." She continued by expounding on the reasons for why she posted it at that particular time. He said, "Gia, as a daughter who is grieving the loss of her father, Gia expressed in her post that she wanted him to be granted a pardon. The fact that he was a celebrity on reality television was not at all relevant to the situation at hand. She only desired to have her father back. Given that Gia is the oldest of her sisters, it is only natural that she would be the one to request it. Her sisters most likely desire the same thing. Additionally, Joe makes a request for forgiveness. Additionally, Giudice has been posting on social media in an effort to have a pardon granted to him. On the other hand, he is not the only one. The king of tigers in his posts, Joe Exotic frequently asks questions. It was only recently announced by President Trump that Todd and Julie Craisley were released from prison. The individuals are holding out hope that they will receive the same treatment from him, and it is possible that this may occur in the future. At the very least, Joe is not serving any time in prison. Nonetheless, he has already served his sentence. The fact that he was deported and is no longer permitted to reside in the United States is a significant event. Do you feel relieved to learn that Gia has expressed regret for the lateness of her request you made? Are you of the opinion that President Donald Trump ought to remove Giudice from his position? In the comments section below, please share your ideas and opinions. In the tangled world of reality television and political controversy, no story quite cuts as deep as the Giudices. Known for their role on the Real Housewives of New Jersey, the family has lived much of their drama in the public eye, from lavish parties to courtroom chaos. But this week, the spotlight turned not to Teresa Giudice, the fiery matriarch, but to her eldest daughter, Giudice, who issued a heartfelt apology for the timing of a plea that left both fans and critics stunned. Just days after headlines revealed that Gia had reached out to former President Donald Trump, requesting he help secure a pardon for her father, Giudice, the 23-year-old broke her silence with an emotional statement. And while her intentions were rooted in love, she now admits the timing may not have been right. The plea heard around reality TV, Giudice's long, public legal saga has haunted the Giudice family for nearly a decade. After serving time for fraud and ultimately being deported to Italy in 2019, Joe's future in the United States seemed all but erased. Yet Gia, ever the loyal daughter, never gave up hope that her father might one day return. When whispers emerged that she had contacted Donald Trump's team, urging him to consider intervening on her father's behalf, social media lit up. "Dear Mr. President," her message allegedly read, "Please consider reviewing my father's case. We've been through so much. All I want is my dad home with us. He's a good man who made a mistake." It was a bold move, and one that instantly drew fire, backlash, and timing. The timing of the plea couldn't have been more explosive. Trump was facing yet another round of indictments, political tensions were high, and many felt Gia's request was tone-deaf. Critics flooded her Instagram with comments like, "Not the time, sweetheart. You lost me, Gia. This looks desperate and entitled. Using your platform to ask a disgraced former president for help. Yikes." And while some fans defended her, understanding the raw pain of family separation, the storm was undeniable. Gia speaks out. The apology. After nearly a week of silence, Gia addressed the controversy on her Instagram stories and in a joint statement to the press. I want to start by apologizing to anyone who felt hurt, disappointed, or offended by the timing of my message. I now realize that my decision to reach out came during a deeply divisive moment, and that added fuel to a fire I never meant to ignite. Her words were raw and reflective, a sign of maturity that stood in stark contrast to the spoiled rich girl image some once painted of her. I acted from a place of love, not politics, she continued. I was just a daughter missing her father. I didn't think about the headlines. I didn't think about the political climate. I thought only about getting my dad back. Teresa stands by her daughter. It didn't take long for Teresa Giudice to chime in. On a recent episode of her podcast, Turning the Tables, Teresa defended her daughter's actions while also acknowledging the controversy. Gia has the biggest heart, she said. She's loyal, she's fierce, and she fights for her family. Maybe the timing wasn't perfect, but I'll never fault her for loving her dad. Teresa, who once famously flipped a table and served her own prison sentence, knows the price of public opinion all too well. But this time, she made it clear she was proud of her daughter, no matter what people thought. Joe Giudice responds from afar, from his home in the Bahamas, where he now resides after being forced to leave Italy due to limited opportunities. Joe Giudice also offered a heartfelt statement. I didn't ask Gia to do this, but when I saw what she did, it broke me. She's always had a lion's heart. I'm sorry if it upset people, but I'm proud of my daughter. He added that while he remains hopeful for a return to the U.S., he doesn't want Gia's name dragged through the mud for trying to help him. At the end of the day, Joe said, she's just a girl who wants her family whole again. Public forgiveness and mixed reactions. Since the apology, fans have started to rally behind Gia. The comments have shifted, with many acknowledging her honesty and emotional courage. We all make mistakes, she owned hers. That's growth. No one can judge how someone handles heartbreak. Leave Gia alone. She's trying to fix a broken system with the only tool she has, her voice. Still, others remain skeptical, questioning whether celebrity privilege played a role in her access, and wondering what kind of precedent this might set. A young woman finding her voice. This isn't the first time Gia has used her platform to speak out. From her early days as a teen on RHONJ, viewers saw glimpses of a girl forced to grow up too fast. When her parents went to prison, Gia became the emotional anchor for her younger sisters. When Joe was deported, she became the voice for the family's grief. Now, as a college graduate and influencer with over 1 million followers, Gia is navigating what it means to have power, purpose, and consequence. And she's learning, sometimes painfully, that good intentions don't always land gracefully. I'm still growing, Gia said. Still learning how to use my voice wisely. Final thoughts. A lesson in humanity. Giudice's plea to Donald Trump might have come at the wrong time, but her heart was never in question. In an age of carefully curated influencer personas, her messy honesty stands out. She's not perfect. She's not a politician. She's a daughter, desperate to bring her dad home. And now, with her public apology, Gia has reminded us all of something simple but powerful. That even in the spotlight, with cameras and critics watching, it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to admit them. And it's more than okay to love your family, fiercely, publicly, and without apology.